Happy Mother's Day Sunday 2022. We welcome you courtside here in San Bernardino, California, as we bring you our second of 4 matches today on the third day of this weekend's NVA action. I'm Ira Thor, joined alongside Matt Prosser. He just flew in from the other side of the pond as we will bring you probably our marquee matchup of the day as one of only 2 unbeaten teams remaining in the NVA this season. That's New Jersey Team Freedom 3-0 on the year, taking on the upstart Dallas Tornadoes. They're 2-1 on the year. They've looked very good getting there.
Well, the Dallas Tornadoes very athletic and very explosive. So excited to see what they can bring today after playing a match yesterday and getting their win. Meanwhile, for Team Freedom, expect big things from them. They've got some huge players on their side, and offensively speaking, Matthew Seifert and Joe Norman have been pretty strong for them. So should be an interesting matchup.
The Dallas Tornadoes yesterday all over the Inland Empire Matadors, and they've relied heavily on Felix Chapman. Did not have as solid of a day yesterday. Very slow start, but he had 35 kills through the first 2 matches on the year. You can forgive him for only an 8-kill effort. Meanwhile, for New Jersey, it was a family affair yesterday as they took on the Chicago Untouchables, and New Jersey won in 3 sets. Now, the last time out, it was Ian Kapp who had a career performance with 25 kills. Yesterday, it was Joe Norman with 21 kills, had a huge effort to lead New Jersey. However, the back of Joe Norman is in question today. He's already suffered from a bad back. It's acted up this morning. So if he's unable to be at full strength through this match, or just isn't feeling at his full self, full strength out there today, we are already prepared to have Doug Zema replace him on the court. That is the report from head coach Carlo Edra when asked about the health of Joe Norman. So let's take a look at the starting lineups for this one. And we'll start with the Dallas Tornadoes. They'll be seeing Andres Quiones setting number 11. The libero is Sam Schuldenberg, who had a great effort in the win yesterday. He wears number 12. Your outside one will be Peter Canoldi, 6'8", product made his debut to rave reviews. Steve Roshitz is your outside 2, wearing number 6. And on the right side will be Felix Chapman, number 18. Middle 1 is Angel Rivera. And middle 2 is Chico Oporum for the 2-1 Dallas Tornadoes. For New Jersey Team Freedom, unbeaten on the year. Matt Elias was our man of the match yesterday. He'll return at center today. John Cunningham, who passed at a 92% rate yesterday, is your starting libero. Your outside 1 is Ian Kapp, number 4.
Testing.
Outside 2 is Tim Ferreter.
Testing. Matthew
number
Prosser,
7.
NVA volleyball.
Your right side
Dallas
will be Joe Norman,
Texas
as long
Tornadoes.
as he can stand, wearing number 16. Matt Seifert, your middle 1, wearing number 12. Tom Burrell didn't play yesterday. He gets the start here. He is your middle 2 as we are underway, and Ian Kapp starts us off with a kill.
Well, Ian Kapp had a great match yesterday, and right out of the gate, Ira, he scores their first point for Freedom.
So here's Matt Elias. Team Freedom has won 2 of its 3 matches in straight sets. Their other win came in 4, so they've played some quick matches. And Matt Seifert with the stuff.
Nice read blocking that time for Matt Seifert to get his hands over the net. Slows down Oporum's first attack. Gets that block point for Freedom.
Matt Seifert, 6'10", gets his hands way up there, even when he's not jumping. That is blocked back, picked up by the Tornadoes. Here's Kapp swinging away, covered by Chapman.
Oh,
and
Chapman.
Then, oh my goodness
out
gracious.
of the quick.
Felix Chapman out of the middle just pushes it straight down.
Talk about the athleticism of Felix Chapman and the court awareness to just be up and available in transition right there. Ira, that was pretty impressive.
Covered it, and then he put it right down. Just incredible athleticism. Hitting out of the middle. Here's Kapp from the right side, coming our way into Matt Prosser's living room.
I was right there to cover the hitter, except that I'm out of bounds and not actually participating in this match.
Even when you were on the air, you were covering the play. The defense never leaves you, my friend. Who says middles can't play D?
Liberos.
It's true. Ian Cap will serve. And comes over on one. Joe Norman says no back, no problem. And for the Dallas Tornadoes, again, they come in at 2-1 on the year. They've won twice in straight sets. They would like to have a quick day's work themselves if they could put New Jersey back on their heels. But the only way they're going to do that today is with tough serving. So far, New Jersey's been the tougher serving squad, as that is a double on Norman. I think that was a good call.
Yeah, I think so too. A little bit too quick of a play for Norman to get those hands up and ready to set the ball. So nice call by our first official.
Life comes at you fast, Matt. Came at Joe very quickly there. As Matt Seifert swings away, and that will be out of play. Perm got the hands up, but just too much firepower.
Yeah, so far the offense for Team Freedom firing on all cylinders. Matt Seifert doing a nice job early and often here for his squad.
So here is Matt Seifert. Had 11 chances to swing yesterday against the Untouchables. Had 6 kills, hitting 55%. And that's put away. Stephen Roshitz.
Roshitz, so athletic. Let's talk about his arm swing and how strong he is for a little bit of an undersized outside hitter. There's a lot of beach volleyball in the southern Texas area of San Antonio, and he's played a lot of time on the AVP. Actually had thoracic outlet syndrome last year. Had surgery that he's recovered nicely from.
Joe Norman swinging away. He's 2 for 2.
But that is a matchup that is definitely in favor of Freedom. Joe Norman going up against the block of Roshitz. Joe Norman going high over it that time and down for the point.
Here is Joe Norman. Red, white, and blue Freedom headband.
It's trademark.
And a big serve from Norman. That is blocked back by Burrell. Reach out and stuff someone! Matt Elias, Tom Burrell, and Freedom lead early 7-3.
Yeah, that's set just a little bit too tight. You see the team talking about it. Tornado coach wants Roshitz to swipe it off the block, but that's a lot more easier said than done, coach.
Norman again. Much better pass. They try to go over on Tukionis is blocked back. I don't think that ever went over. And it doesn't matter anyway because Chapman hits it into the bench.
It doesn't matter. I didn't see it go over the net either. But the attack error results in a point for Freedom anyway, so negating the need for a possible challenge from Coach Justin Beaumont.
Dallas Tornadoes going to quickly chat about this one as Ivan Angular and Jordan De Jesus, the coaching staff for the Tornadoes, going to have a discussion. Not a good start for Dallas as they look to build upon a 2-1 record.
Now you're right, Ira, not a great start for Dallas. Meanwhile, on the other side, a wonderful start for New Jersey Freedom.
See Carlo Edra in the dark blue. Everybody's wearing long sleeves today on the bench. It's a little bit chilly here inside the Pure Sports Center here in San Bernardino, and it's un-California-like weather here on Mother's Day. You know, we've had some rough weather throughout the Northeast. In fact, where Team Freedom is from, New Jersey, a nor'easter just came through, and heavy rain and wind. And temperatures never really exceeded 45 degrees, but it was actually drizzling this morning on the ride over to the Pure Sports Center. First time I've ever encountered rain. I didn't know it was such a thing here in Southern California.
It very rarely happens in California, but it does in fact meteorologically occur from time to time.
I guess it has to rain. It's not a desert. Although it is 64 degrees and chilly outside. Somehow, Chapman is dug up by Cunningham. Can Dallas count here? Roshitz. Norman gets a piece of it. And Ferner turns and fires and slips it through the block. A broken play, and New Jersey stayed with it.
Ira, for the first time in 3 years, I saw Joe Norman dive for a ball on defense, keep it in the air, and allow his team to score the point in transition.
I think that backfield's just fine.
Sure looks like it.
And he will continue to serve. I think that was just a decoy. I think they were trying to, mess with their minds. He feels just fine.
Gamesmanship.
Yeah. He had a massage today. He feels great. Over on one. And he's swiped back by Quiones. They go back to Burrell, but Chapman with the dig. So a third chance for New Jersey. This time it's Ferner, and he gets rejected by Rivera and Quiones. Here's Steve Roshitz. That's gonna be, oh my goodness, I thought it was gonna be put down by Rivera, but no. Matt Elias turned at a 90-degree angle the last second and gets solo stuff time.
A little center-on-center action that time.
And
Matt
a
Elias.
10-4 lead for the Freedom, but my goodness, Matt Elias has been playing great since making his debut yesterday. And Ferner misses too long, says our line judge, Laura Garbarino. Patrick Bradley's in the ref chair for this one. Ty Boyd's the R2. Scott Thompson is our other line judge. Here's Angel Rivera, the Puerto Rican. They go back to Ferner. That is covered by Canole. Norman with the dig. They go back to Norman, and he misses long. I thought there was a touch. Joe Norman is convinced there was a touch, and Justin Beaumont, the owner of New Jersey, is going to challenge this one at the request of his right side hitter.
Yeah, I think I saw Peter Connell admit to a touch to his teammates there, so we'll see if that indeed is the case. Confirming it with his teammates.
I thought I heard something, and I'm wearing a headset. So the fact that I thought I heard something, but as we talked about yesterday, officials cannot make a call based on sound.
Yeah.
They have to do based on what they see.
It's the second time we've talked about it this weekend. They cannot make a phone call. A call off of a sound. They have to see the touch to call it.
But you see enough volleyball over the years, whether as a player, broadcaster, fan, you know when you hear something that doesn't sound natural.
Very true.
Now it's interesting though, because in baseball, umpires can use that sound. They typically will do that at first base on bang bang plays.
Yes.
But not in the sport of volleyball. It's another reason that Nick England hates baseball with a passion.
This is one of those situations where not too sure if the video replay is, the challenge is absolutely necessary. So if a touch is called off of the Tornado blockers, perhaps the Tornadoes could just admit to the touch, save the time, and keep the match going instead of this pause and play, because Freedom had to call the challenge, right?
Now, the one argument to that would be if there's not conclusive evidence to it, they might still get the point.
This is very true.
That is why perhaps they would keep their mouth shut now.
That is a very good counterpoint, Ira.
However, I think this replay system has proven that the majority of the time, if the evidence is there, it's been picking it up. This has been certainly a huge addition to the league this year. And it goes over to Dallas's. Not enough evidence. And Norman will be charged with the attack here. As I'm having conversations with myself here. It's been a long weekend. Here's Angel Rivera, 6'4". Has a lot of international experience. Bring it to the NVA. And he misses it wide into the trade winds. So an 11-6 lead for the unbeaten Freedom. Trying to join the Texas Tyrants as the only 4-0 teams in the NBA through the first 2 weekends. They started 5-0 last year, but lost in the quarterfinals. As that is put away, side out four to the Tornadoes, and Quiones will serve. Our next match will feature 2 teams without a win on the year, the Chicago Untouchables, who are a surprising 0-3, taking on the Inland Empire Matadors. Norman swinging down the line, and he missed it wide. And our final match of the day will be the LA Blaze. They're 2-1 on the year, taking on the expansion Seattle Sasquatch, who are 0-3 on the year. And that's Ian Cap putting it away. Here's Ian Cap to serve. Correction, is Matt Elias to serve. Elias jamming his inner Ian Cap there with a nice serve. And look at the spin move by Sam Schuldenberg to try to get out of the way, but the Tornadoes couldn't pick it up. I mean, do we call that move by Sam Schuldenberg a twister, being that he plays for the Tornadoes?
More like a hullabaloo twister.
Wasn't Hullabaloo a Teletubby?
Not that I know of.
As that clips the antenna. I think Hullabaloo was the light pink Teletubby. Chapman able to tool the big block of Seifert and Norman. That is impressive for Chapman to do that.
Yeah, definitely. That's a nice big challenge from Chapman to go high off the hands and out of bounds of Joe Norman's block.
Chapman at 6'8", obviously not going to be intimidated by guys that are roughly around his size. But to go over them, that's almost impossible. Oh, down the line, Ian Cap destroys it. And the Tornadoes were into the net, so it wouldn't have mattered regardless, but Cap with an exclamation mark. He's only 6 feet tall, but boy can he elevate. And he will serve here. Former Division III All-American Ian Cap. And leaves that short. We have to congratulate the University of Hawaii. They won the Division I Men's Volleyball National Championship, their 2nd in a row. Impressive win yesterday against Matt Prosser's Long Beach State team that they had a tremendous year, nothing to be ashamed of at all. Long Beach State, majority of the year, was right in that number 1, number 2 ranking all season, and that's an entertaining final. Even though Hawaii, the scores don't really show at Hawaii and Long Beach that is as good of a final matchup as you're going to find.
Yeah, it's quite a rivalry going on between those 2 programs. Very high-level matches, national championships, conference championships on the line over the last several years. Unfortunately, not going the way I was hoping for and all the Long Beach State players and fans, but good showing nonetheless. And high-level volleyball definitely being played last night in Pauley Pavilion.
That's left short too early. Angel Rivera couldn't connect with his setter, and New Jersey now leads by 7, 17-10. My partner Matt played in a national championship match game. Was that 1999?
1999 in Pauley Pavilion.
What's it like playing in that facility? I mean, that's one of the meccas, not just of volleyball, but college sports in general.
Yeah, so much sports history has gone down in that place. So many well-known global sports figures have played there and coached there as well. John Wooden is just everywhere in that facility. It's an exciting place to play. It's a bit overwhelming the first time you ever get to play in there. It's a beautiful place to watch sports from. You just feel the greatness, and I'm not a huge UCLA fan, obviously, a bit of a rivalry there between my program and them when I was playing, but one of the best college sports facilities in all the land, if not the world, when you think about the levels of basketball and volleyball that have taken place there.
Regardless of how you feel about a program, if you are somebody involved in the sport, whether a fan, a player, an alum, you appreciate the history.
Absolutely.
And that's as much of a mecca of volleyball and basketball as there is anywhere in the United States. And quite frankly, you could say rivaling in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. The combination of the two sports that have played inside Pauley Pavilion, not just UCLA, but national championship levels and events as well. Really
Another misfire by Rivera, who he's got to work on his timing here with his setter Quiones. He had been working with Sean Smith the last couple of days.
Yeah, one of the changes for the Tornadoes that hasn't really come to fruition. They're now down by 8. So Freedom off to a very strong start here in set number 1.
Matt Seifert played his volleyball at Penn State. And Penn State, UCLA have had plenty of battles over the years. It's actually quite disappointed that Penn State did not make the NCAA tournament this year. I thought
they were your preseason pick.
Yeah, they were my pick early in the year to win the whole thing, and they had everybody back, and I think 4 All-Americans on the team.
I wish we could have seen Penn State play Hawaii this year, as Penn State did beat Long Beach in Long Beach earlier in the season.
Would have been a great matchup for sure. By the way, Penn State does return everybody except for 1 player next year, so they will have a second chance at trying to win them.
So does
win them natty.
Long Beach State, so does Hawaii. Not a lot of turnover in the senior age group this year.
A lot of that obviously is a factor because players getting an extra year of eligibility with the 2020 season cut short due to the COVID pandemic. So Norman, who won a national title at SUNY New Paltz Division III with the serve, and Roshitz missing that one wide. And the lead is now almost unbearable, 20-11, as we're going to see a substitution here. And the aforementioned Sean Smith will replace Andres Quiones. Sean Smith, 6'2", played his college volleyball at Cal Baptist out here in the West Coast, but he's from Fort Worth, Texas. Here's Joe Norman, another big serve. Roshitz, that ricochets off the ceiling into the wheelhouse of New Jersey. Roshitz again, and he hits the referees. Referees standing out of play, so that is not on the court. Joe Norman, one more time, and he lands an ace! And it's 22-11, New Jersey with a dominant lead here in game 1. And Norman, his run ends here. So they'll hand it to Steven Roshitz, who made his season debut yesterday and had a good effort with 7 kills at 44% and landed a couple of aces as well, but he misses long here. Angel Rivera has been very quiet for Dallas in this match after having 5 block points. He and Chike Oporum each had 5 block points in the victory yesterday, but they got to find a way to get going here. Maybe Sean Smith will help ignite them, or maybe this is just going to be New Jersey's day.
Well, this set definitely has gotten away from the Tornadoes, and expect them to come out of the gates with a better response in set number 2. Or else you're right, Ira, it could be a very quick day for the team in purple.
That bounces the wrong way for Rivera and company, and this will give New Jersey 11 set points. And entering the match for New Jersey on set point, here's Matt Buffum. Over nearly on one, saved by Dallas, they'll float this over. New Jersey trying to close it here. Joe Norman sticks it through the block, and New Jersey crushes Dallas in game number one, 25-13. Team Freedom trying to move to 4-0 on the year. They have themselves a pretty nice start. Game two coming up here in San Bernardino. Please come back. We're back here courtside on Mother's Day 2022. Thank all those moms and those who are not moms out there watching this one, but a lot of these players would not be here without the influence of the women and especially the moms in their lives. And we thank all of you who are supporting the NVA here on Mother's Day 2022. The Dallas Tornadoes need to find some answers here, Matt. They did not show up in game one. Starts off with a service error for New Jersey. So they have returned Andres Quiones at setter here. You look at the plus minuses for Dallas in the first set, and not good all around as Cap puts it down. And Angel Rivera is the one that truly pops off the page for me because he was a -4.
Yeah. Well, combined as a team, Tornadoes are at -10. And passing at a 68%, hitting efficiency only 170. So really can't get much worse for the Tornadoes, so hopefully they can only go up from there.
Here's Cano, and he's able to tool it off the block into the antenna, so a side out Cano gets the kill, and New Jersey served at an 80% rate in game number 1. Huge numbers. And that quality serve reception allowed them to run so many different looks offensively. That is missed by Knoll, who made his indoor debut. I think I heard yesterday that was his first time playing indoors in like 15, 18 years, something like that. He's been a beach player his entire career. First time playing in a match. Obviously, he's trained with them. But
right, of course.
Matt Seifert. That's going to have to be dumped up an errant first pass. And from the back row, Cap swinging away. Back set to Chapman down the line. Oh, and Felix missed.
Chapman just not quite firing today. Carrying over a little bit from yesterday's match where he only had 8 kills.
Well, Felix right now has got only 2 kills against what is 3 errors. And they're not going to be successful today if he doesn't get going. It's too important to their engine. They go to Roshitz, and he's able to cling it off of the outside of Joe Norman's hand. That's a good piece of hitting by Roshitz against a triple block, able to squeeze between Norman and the antenna.
Yeah, you cannot overlook the athleticism of the undersized outside hitter that is number 6 in purple, Steven Roshitz.
Out of Kansas City, Kansas. Thomas Burrell able to stick it through the block. Rivera thought he actually had put it back, but he did not. And here's Joe Norman to serve. Tim Schuldenberg. A lot of responsibility on him as the libero right now of the Tornadoes. They have to get their serve reception going against this big serve from New Jersey. And they get so many different angles because of the height that they are serving from. Ping pong is sent back over. Justin Bowman and company thought that there was 4 touches, but it doesn't matter because Ferreter able to tool the block as well for a 5-3 Jersey lead.
Oh, that was a very well played cover, and then second contact by Tornadoes.
As Joe Norman sails that long. Here is Felix Chapman. And these teams playing the Saturday and Sunday matches. With the way the NVA schedule is this year, you play 2 out of 3 days. And that is long as well. Either Friday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. And I don't know, what's the, if you have to pick one of those 3, what is the best? Maybe I would say probably Friday, Sunday and have the day off in between to recover, but sitting around for a long time waiting and thinking about your last match. Norman gets a piece of it that's run down by Elias. Norman swinging down the line and just gets it. And Sam Schoenberg, he can't believe it.
Well, Freedom off to a great start here in set number 2. Tornadoes, unfortunately, having a bit of difficulty finding the floor and scoring points, and these matchups right now of the Tornado block and defense against these bigger Freedom hitters pose some continual problems. Texas.
Of those 3 scenarios, is there one that you think is the best to play?
If it were me, I think I would prefer to have the Friday, Sunday matchups to have a day to recover. Means you're probably arriving Thursday.
Dallas is going to need a lot of recovery time from that as Thomas Burrell teams with Ian Cap for the stuff. And New Jersey has themselves an early 4-point lead after a dominant Game 1 win. Here's Ferreter. That's going to go over on 1, but Rivera was ready for the Cap put. And they're saying that's 4 touches.
Interesting call here, a 4 contact violation. I didn't see the first one. It's like a legitimate block, but to me it looked like a real block, but they're calling it not a block for some reason because the setter didn't leave the floor, I suppose.
Patrick Bradley's our referee in the chair. He made the call. I saw otherwise, but that's why he's got the whistle and I have the mic. That is law. He's got way more power than we have.
Well, we saw that yesterday as he overturned a very key point in that Rambler Tyrants match as well in set number 5.
It's upheld by replay. Rosic, your server. Cunningham, another good pass. They go back to Ian Cap with the cross-court magic.
Wow, Ian Cap with a little extra celebration after that one as well. That was a big swing from 6-foot outside hitter wearing
Ian
number
Cap.
4.
Now, in the last match of the first weekend of the year, Ian Cap had 25 kills in a 3-1 victory over the Stunners. That 25 kills is the highest mark that we've seen in the NVA, at least in recent history.
Now just a trainer timeout, official timeout taken by our second official so that Jonas can get some medical attention as he has some blood out of his left knee area.
Cut open like an NVA fighter.
That brings us to a
Not
good
a UFC
discussion
fighter,
point
an NVA fighter.
good discussion point of injuries for the Tornadoes side and recovery patterns, right? We talked about it briefly. Steven Roschitz having thoracic outlet syndrome surgery last August.
What is that?
Well, allow me to medically educate you, Ira, on thoracic outlet. That's where your first rib pinches the nerves or the nerve group or nerve bundle that runs down your arm. Okay?
Thank you, Dr. Prosser. How does that happen?
That's a good question, and I'll have to defer that to the NVA medical staff to answer that question, how it actually happens. Steven Roschitz went into the hospital with blood clots in his arm and was then diagnosed with thoracic outlet syndrome, which is common for any overhead athletes, swimmers, quarterbacks, pitchers. Other famous volleyball players such as Phil Dalhouser have had thoracic outlet syndrome. Maybe you've heard of him. So Steven had exploratory surgery, laparoscopic thoracic outlet syndrome surgery, the first time in history. Doctor performed this procedure in San Antonio. He told me all about it yesterday. Very interesting procedure where he removes a piece of his first rib, which then relieves the pressure off of that nerve bundle and allows blood flow and nerve sensory signals to be sent down his arm once again.
Do they replace that piece of the rib?
They do not. The rib is removed. Medically, anatomically not necessary for living a high quality of life, I suppose. And Steven Roschitz actually telling me that he has a greater range of motion now with his external rotation of his wrist and elbow and shoulder effectively after the procedure. So he actually has more range when he attacks the ball to go thumb down, wrist away, attacking when he's hitting the ball.
So we can say that Steven Roschitz is our own NVA medical miracle.
Certainly can. Yes, we certainly can.
They're going to clean up some blood from the court. And they're going to make a substitution here is Sean Smith, who currently not bloodletting, will re-enter the match. Matt and I still have all of our ribs intact.
As do I.
I said Matt and I. I mean you and me.
Only one player on the court with one less rib than the rest of us here.
I mean, technically, you have all the other ribs. They're doing their job. Live life without part of your rib and also without an appendix or a spleen. Your gallbladders are unnecessary also. We wait for this stoppage to come to a close. Thomas Burrell, his team leading by 5. That was an extended medical timeout. And Matt Seifert and Matt Elias with the stuff.
Well, that's a great start back to action for the Tornadoes after Sean Smith enters the game, and Peter Connell gets blocked by Seifert and Elias.
Tom Burrell too long that time. So here is Angel Rivera again. He has had a non-productive start to this match, and they need him to get going. He's their middle one. That's Seifert with authority off the hands, out of play. And New Jersey just keeps playing smart volleyball. Seifert could go over them. He chose to go through them. And it's 12-6 as here is Elias, the former Juniata standout. A lot of movement on that float. They go to Knoll. Cunningham digs it up. Back to Cap, and he burns it in the back of the court.
Now, Team Freedom just firing on all cylinders, Ira. Really can do no wrong. They've established now a 7-point advantage here in set number 2. And leaving the Tornadoes with no answers, so they have to call a timeout.
6 kills already for Ian Cap. And the Dallas Tornadoes, well, right now, talking about them looking like an upstart team in this league, but you know, if they're not able to play, I'm not even talking about beating Team Freedom, but if Dallas has a hopes of advancing out of the quarterfinals when we get to the postseason in August, they have to show more against teams of this caliber. The way I was looking at, you know, power rankings, the best way to say it, coming into the weekend, I thought that the Tyrants and the Ramblers were kind of in that 1-2 level of the league. And I think that was demonstrated yesterday in just the quality of the match. Obviously, it went to extra points in the 5th set. And, you know, yeah, it's a loss for the Ramblers, but it kind of felt like a win for both teams, just the way the exceptional volleyball they both played. New Jersey right now is playing like that other team that we might have to include in that mix there. They don't show a lot of weaknesses. And they have something that some of these squads don't have right now, which is just an incredible amount of chemistry.
No, you're totally right. I read the evolution of these teams as we continue through the season is really starting to show itself, and Freedom has done a nice job doing so.
Effective timeout for the Tornadoes as they're able to get Felix Chapman going as he sat through the double block attempt. Sean Smith will serve. That is too long, so back to New Jersey. And I think the Stunners have the talent, as they are now 2-2 on the year, I believe, to be in that conversation with the other 3 teams I just mentioned. Before the year started, I would think Utah would be as well, but they're 2-2 overall. Ooh, what a save by Sean Smith. And on the overball, O'Perm, oh my.
Oh, the Tornadoes showing some athleticism there. A great save from Sean Smith. And then O'Perm taking care of the business on that overpass.
This is one of the few matches where O'Perm is towered over by another middle. He's 6'5", Seifert 6'10". Ferreter gets blocked. It came back off of Roshit's hands and hit Ferreter on the side of the head. So that goes down as a double block for Dallas. They've cut this to a 5-point game. I said on the air, by the way, yesterday, the Utah Stingers dropped to 1-3. They are 2-2 on the year, so anybody heard me say that yesterday, math skills are lacking. And that's 3 in a row here for Dallas as they close off the pin. And Chapman working much better here after the timeout with his partner up there, O'Perm. Here's Peter Knoll. He didn't play collegiate volleyball, at least not at the NCAA level, but living in Orlando, he attended West Florida and has had himself an ample beach career. Here's Seifert. Seifert misses wide. It's 4 in a row.
Nice little run here by the Tornadoes.
And Carlo Edra and company are going to call timeout for New Jersey. What was a decisive lead is still a 3-point advantage for New Jersey, but you know, see how quickly these can evaporate. take a look at our stat leaders in a moment when we get a chance, but for New Jersey, Joe Norman has gotten quiet here. They need to find a way to get him more involved.
Well, back-to-back hitting errors by the Freedom. Really hadn't seen that yet throughout the match, but well played by Tornadoes to create some momentum on their side and see if they can claw their way back into this one.
New Jersey hit 53% as a team in the first set. And you combine that with the fact that the Tornadoes hit a putrid 17%. It's no wonder that New Jersey ran away with the first game. They had a substantial lead here in this second set, but see if Dallas can keep this scoring run going under Peter Knoll. Cunningham with a pass. They go to Ferreter, and that's not going to be brought back.
Now Ferreter continuing to contribute from the left side. Offensively speaking, he's done a good amount of work for his team. Quite to a bit of surprise to the Tornadoes.
So Burrell's back in. Here's Matt Seifert to serve. So that one sails long, so Seifert 16-11, Jersey leads. And that is going to come our way as Dallas, with one of their biggest swings of the day so far, they're starting to heat up a bit. New Jersey's got to be cautious. Substitution here for the Dallas Tornadoes, and here's Javier Guerrero, 6'2" outside hitter out of Austin, Texas. And a big smash here from New Jersey. Ferreter involved again. That is his fourth kill. Here's Joe Norman, his team up 5. Felix Chapman had to stop on a dime and still was able to find a useful spot. Gets the kill for Chapman. Norman, one-on-one with Roshitz, will win that battle most of the time.
A nice offensive output from Norman.
That's left short by Ferreter. Roshitz misses that one wide. So we trade errors here, and it'll be Burrell to serve. Chapman, and Ferreter couldn't keep that one on the court. So Chapman beginning to heat up, and that goes back to what we talked about. He had a terrible first set, but he's been, historically a slow starter. So if the Tornadoes have any chance of winning this, obviously it has to go at least 4. If he continues to heat up, that's now 3 kills in the last 6 swings. Tornadoes may not be done just yet, even with this deficit, but Rivera drives it into the net, so that pushes the lead back up to 5 as New Jersey gets to 2015. They're gonna have a substitution here. Here's Paul Bolanczyk coming in for Ian Kapp, and here it is. Bolanczyk at 7 feet tall. Seifert at 6'10". Joe Norman at 6'9". The Great Wall of New Jersey has been built back up. And still, they find a way. They find a crack in the wall.
Sean Smith doing a great job. The jump, bump, quick set. Rarely seen, well executed by Sean Smith that time.
Jump, bump, quick set. Rarer than a Sasquatch. They will be playing at 6 p.m. There's Sean Smith. There's Seifert in the middle. And he comes through. I was talking to Matt Elias in the postgame show yesterday, and also on the Matt interviewed him after the match as well, and just talking about what it's like to play with that much height in front of you. And he said it was hilarious, quite frankly, because not only can the other team not see the receive, you can't see who you're serving to.
Right, or the attacker.
Great play by Smith to keep that up. Seifert's blocked back. O'Perham and Chapman are there. And Dallas staying alive. Justin Beaumont having a conversation with our R2 Ty Boyd here. I think New Jersey was asking if something could be reviewed, but it cannot be, so they will play on as Knoll serves. Cunningham gets there. Here's Ferreter. Knoll with the pass. And oh man, the emotion from Chapman. Hear him roar.
Little release of some frustration for Chapman and the Tornadoes. And make something happen here at the end of set number 2.
Chapman, you hear him roaring as he did the Hulk impression. And his game is coming alive here, but Norman traps him against the pin for the kill. Chapman a little bit late getting over. And at this level, that fraction of a second is all it takes.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a very fast action, and that time Joe Norman getting it off of the Chapman block and into the antenna as it was confirmed by Felix.
Here's Seifert, his team up by 4. Smith, the one-handed poke. Roshitz gets a lot out of it. Here's Chike O'Perham from Plano, Texas. Oh, and he left it short. It's a bad miss for Dallas when they were starting to claw back late. That gives New Jersey its 23rd point in what was a 3-point set. We'll see a substitution here. Matt Buffum will come in for Joe Norman again to serve. So a timeout here for Dallas. Trying to figure things out late, Matt, but I mean, New Jersey got tested a little bit there in the middle of the second set. 4 errors didn't help them along that stretch, but they've kind of shaken out any cobwebs they might have had, and they're back to their normal freedom-loving selves.
They have responded nicely to the sort of push that they got from the Tornadoes there.
And here's Matt Buffum. Chapman had to stop, and that moment allowed New Jersey to get a touch. And he goes the other way this time. Went from line to try to tucking it inside, and that was enough to tool the block for another Tornado side out. So they cut it to 3, 23-20. Norman will return. Tallest libero in the league. Hitting Cunningham's there. Norman plays good defense for a man his size. And that cannot be ignored. Chapman serve. And he misses long. And this will give New Jersey 4 set points. Trying to move to 2-0 in this match and 4-0 on the season if they can finish this weekend unbeaten. And Tim Ferreter, well, he left it short, so set point number 2 will be coming up. Here is Steven Roshitz to try to extend this point and extend this second set for Dallas. Cunningham, that ends up being a joust. Burrell with a nifty back set, but New Jersey into the net. Second chance here for New Jersey. Burrell, Chapman is there at 24-22 and is left short by Knoll. And New Jersey wins game 2, 25-22, and they have a 2-0 lead in our second match of the day. We'll take a break, and we're going to come back with a blast from the past when we return to San Bernardino. And we are back courtside here in San Bernardino. There you see Justin Beaumont in the hat, and he's the owner of the New Jersey Freedom, having a chat with his team leading 2-0. Well, long before Justin Beaumont was the owner of the New Jersey Freedom and an important part of the ownership group here in the NVA, Justin was a college student at New Jersey City University, and he actually worked for me back in the day. And as a young man, Justin used to come to the office not always dressed professionally. In fact, he showed up one day wearing a tank top and some torn jeans and torn sweatpants. So I said to him, Justin, listen, I need you to take this a little bit more seriously, and I need you to come to work a little bit more professionally. And so he did. This is Justin Beaumont in 2008 coming to work. You know, A shirt and tie can mean a lot of different things.
Different things to different people.
He came with the tie, and he came with the shirt. Now, it was basically a white T-shirt, but it is a stylish look that nobody has ever been able to replicate, and I knew at that time, even at the age of 19 years old, that Justin Beaumont was going to be a winner in life.
Well, Justin's doing great things for the volleyball community there in New Jersey, and that just might have been how it all started, Ira.
I haven't seen him in a tie since, by the way. Might have been the only one he had. He clipped it somewhere. It's probably hanging in the closet. Wow. NVA is certainly a family affair for sure, and Mother's Day 2022, and not only can we thank our moms, but we can thank the women who shaped us. And, Justin has been shaped by a fun family who I've known for a long time. And he's walking over here right now. Why he's standing by our scores table. What are you doing, Justin? We just showed your picture on national TV. So Matt Elias serving for New Jersey. A 1-0 lead, trying to get a sweep here to improve to 4-0. The Tornadoes trying to turn the tables here to avoid falling to 500 on the season. And Chapman, gosh.
What a statement swing that time from Felix Chapman, unleashing that cross-court attack on that ball.
Chapman now up to 8 kills in 17 swings. He had 4 errors, but those have mostly been early, and he's starting to figure things out. Pat with a good serve, or a pass, I should say. Joe Norman only took a half approach there, went up, and was able to wrist that one away.
Well, fortunately, when you're 6'10", you don't always have to get a max jump. You're already taller than the blockers of the Tornadoes on that situation.
I don't know if I'd be 6'10" if I stood on a chair. Here's Ian Cap. And Chapman up for that serve. Blocked back by New Jersey. And that, I didn't think that stayed on the right side of the antenna. Blocked back by Dallas. This is Ferreter. So a broken play. Chapman, he gets rejected. Seifert teaming with his partner on the outside there. And wow, Tim Ferreter, I tell you what, probably about 6-inch difference between Seifert and Ferreter, but Ferreter got up there on that block.
He certainly did, and that was a very well-formed block for New Jersey Freedom.
First time that Ferreter's been involved with a block today. Seifert, that's his 4th block. And this finds a useful spot in the back corner. So here's a Perham. It is 3-2 New Jersey here. He's Matt Prosser. I'm Ira Thor. It's our second of 4 matches today. Stay with us at 3 p.m. as the Matadors take on the Untouchables, and that was untouchable by Seifert. Perfect time to do a promo for our next match.
Seifert, the Penn State product, coming around from right to left on that little bit of a push set, rushing that ball for the point.
What's funny is, by the way, it's not even funny, it's just a matter of fact. You look at that picture from Justin from 2008, he looks exactly the same facial-wise now. He hasn't aged really at all. Maybe a couple more tattoos between now and then, but Fountain of Youth over there on the New Jersey sideline.
Must be the water they have there in New Jersey.
It is delicious water. Thomas Burrell, but waiting for that one was the libero Schuldenberg. And New Jersey only needs 2 tries. Got to give credit to Schuldenberg and also Chapman, who had some quick reflexes there to preserve the point for, or at least for a moment, but it's too much firepower from New Jersey as Joe Norman will serve here. 5-3 lead. Oldenburg ducks for cover and avoids that misfire by Joe Norman. Here's Peter Knoll. Fairly quiet today, only 1 kill so far in 8 swings. The pass by Cap. Here's Norman again from the back row.
Joe Norman has been very good offensively for Freedom. A little bit of a question mark coming into this match, what he was going to be able to provide after yesterday's match and maybe some fatigue, but Joe's showing that he is a consummate professional and delivering the goods for his side.
Here's Ferreter to serve. Comes over on 1, Cap turns, and Chapman dumps it in a useful spot.
Well, nice court awareness from Felix Chapman, opting for the set over on 2. Short into open area right in front of Joe Norman.
Here's Angel Rivera. He is -5 today, has 4 attacks, no kills, 2 errors. Thomas Burrell tooling the block for another kill. And that is his 3rd. Thomas Burrell, the Stevens Institute of Technology product, one of the top academic schools in the entire country. A volleyball powerhouse. This is going to be run down by Ferreter, but they cannot keep it in play. And just incredible power from Felix Chapman. When he is on, one of just the most electrifying players that the NVA has to showcase.
Yeah, an absolute cannon is the right arm of Felix Chapman. He can hit a ball at a level not many have seen here in the NBA or at Pierce Sports Complex.
I mean, that kind of power rivals what you'll see in parts of Europe. As Sean Smith will serve. That was probably going long. Ferreter played it, and it becomes an ace for Dallas, and they have tied this match at 7-7 game 3.
Well, it's got to be tricky for Freedom to have to deal with 2 vastly different velocities after that attack from Felix, and then slightly less powerful is that jump serve from Sean Smith, but let's see if he can do it again.
Cunningham played it. Elias with the joust against Roshitz. Here's Cap off the high hand, smart play. So a much needed side out here for New Jersey to temporarily put a Band-Aid on. Been a lackluster 3rd set for New Jersey, but for the Dallas Tornadoes, this is kind of the rejuvenation they needed. Backs at the Chapman, he misses wide. First error he's made in a while. Jersey talking a little bit to Chapman. I don't know if you want to poke the bear there, fellas.
I don't know if that's a good strategy or not. Just go about your business. You're up 2 games to none, and winning in set 3. Service error doesn't quite help.
Felix Chapman, when he wants to be on this court, is a bad, bad man. Don't give him any more motivation than he already needs. He'll drop back to serve. New Jersey leading by 1. And he misses that one long. So Ian Cap, who's been hitting at a roughly 60% rate in this match, already has 8 kills. He'll serve. He is New Jersey's leader offensively today. In fact, he's got a match high, although Chapman's right on his neck. That one is going to take an unfortuitous bounce off of the rafters, and an ace for Ian Cap. That is the 2nd ace today for New Jersey, the 1st for Cap. He was there to cover it too, man. That just took a bad bounce.
Yep, certainly did. Bad break for them.
Cap again. Chapman with the reception. Here's Knoll to swing. That is blocked back Seifert!
Talk about good timing and hand position by Matt Seifert. I don't know, way off the net. Seifert had to wait. We had a front row viewing of that one as he reached his hands way over the net that time. Ira to get that stuff down.
And Ferreter was also involved. Got to give him his just props for being involved. And New Jersey, after getting tied by Dallas, once again, they have been able to find some resolve here. And they lead 12-8, forcing the Tornadoes to call their first timeout. Again, our 3 p.m. match today will be the Chicago Untouchables. They're 0-3 on the year, but certainly a better team than that. And they will take on the Inland Empire Matadors. This is their facility where they train all year, and so far this season, home court has not been good luck. And then we will close today the LA Blaze at 6 p.m. Pacific. They're 2-1 on the year. They'll take on the winless expansion Seattle Sasquatch. Matt and Nick will join you for the broadcast for the final 2 matches. I'll have the match 3 post-game show with you, and then I gotta hop on another cross-country flight back to New Jersey. And Ian Cap did not get the friendly bounce. And unfortunately for me, I have the middle seat on the way back. Yeah,
that's going to be a rough one for you.
Not happy about this. Compared to these guys, I'm tiny, but in real life, I'm actually 6'6'1", so not a spot you want to be in the middle seat. And there's a solo stuff here for Peter Knoll. Out of the timeout, the Tornadoes get 2 in a row on a service error, and now a solo stuff, so it's a 2-point game for Chike Oporum. Cunningham runs that one down. Ferreter off of the beautiful feed from Elias. Not only is it the middle seat, it's 32E.
Ouch.
I have gotten railroaded by United. Here's Seifert to serve. John Smith with the back set. Woo! Right over our heads. And Roshitz with the kill. Two-point lead for New Jersey. Roshitz asking if there was a whistle. He'll go outside to Ferreter. Oh, a big dig by Scholdenberg. And then the set by, oh my goodness, Roshitz completely botched that. He wants that one back.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Steven Roshitz.
He knows it. These guys are pros. They make mistakes now and then. There's no perfection in volleyball. Cap, oh, what an athletic laying it out for that one. And Norman rewards him with a dig. Ian Cap with one of the greatest defensive plays you will ever see. Lunging the wrong way out of bounds, extending his arm. And often when we have seen those kind of caliber defensive plays, there's been followed by an attack error. But Joe Norman was able to follow it up with the winner. Incredible play. And Norman will drop back to serve. Left and short, but that could be the emotional lift that New Jersey needed to get through this final set. They lead by 3. Otherwise, this would have been a 1-point game. Here was Knoll to serve. Cap from the back row, blasted. And the former Chicago Untouchable is being challenged here. If he hit that behind the 10-foot line or not. So the Tornadoes are going to use their first challenge of the match. And to be honest, I did not get a good look at that, Matt, so I'm not sure whether or not Ian was behind the 10-foot line or not.
Yeah, either did I, so it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds.
Now, just keep in mind, the 10-foot line is the black line. This court has black and blue lines because when this facility is not being used by the NVA, this volleyball facility is obviously a huge training ground in this part of the country, and this main arena is divided into 3 different courts.
That's why we see so many different lines on the floor.
Yeah, the blue lines are, and they have it as 3 different courts. That is your dividing lines. The black is for, obviously, for when you're using for regulation, or obviously for the NVA. Probably going to upgrade as the season goes along. I think we're going to see some changes to the lines and maybe in future different looking courts. Have to stay tuned throughout the year to see what we have up our sleeves. Our 3rd weekend of the NVA will be Memorial Day weekend. It won't be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday format, though, however. It'll be a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's the only time we do that. So we will play on Memorial Day, May 30th, which means I can't march in any parades.
Are you a frequent parade marcher attendee?
Well, every once in a while, you know, I'll see a parade and I'll crash it like a wedding. I'll just, you know, jump in and pretend I'm part of the band.
Okay.
And Ian Cap did indeed not commit the crime. So it's always nice when the jury comes back with a verdict.
In your favor, of course.
You know, in your favor. You know, you never want to spend the rest of the season in volleyball purgatory. Here's Felix Chapman and Cunningham. He thought he had it, but the pace that Felix swung at, I don't see how Cunningham's bringing that back. 16-13. And what's interesting about Chapman is, as he swung, he almost turned his back 45-degree angle to the sideline, and still just the amount of torque off his arm is incredible.
Chapman is a very athletic volleyball player.
And Rivera's just not having himself a good match. That one was well long. Nah, no parades for me, but my 7-year-old daughter is actually going to be marching in a Memorial Day parade with her cheerleading team. They won the national championship for the U6 age group. Ah, Chapman again. Norman gonna run out of real estate to try to bring that back.
Got to walk in the Hermosa Beach St. Patrick's Day Parade just this year with my son's baseball team.
Now, since it's St. Patrick's Day, are you allowed to march with a Guinness?
No. Guinnesses are usually consumed before and after the actual walk itself.
But not during.
But not during.
I feel like that's a missed opportunity, definitely a missed sponsorship opportunity.
It's a very good point. However, I did wear a kilt.
Wait, we got pictures of Justin Beaumont wearing clip-on ties in 2008, but we do not have a Matt Prosser kilt photo.
No. This day and age, there might be one out there floating around someplace, but good luck finding it, Ira. It's locked up in the safe.
Are we allowed to reach out to Mrs. Prosser for that?
Definitely no.
Back set to Norman, and it's going to fall in. Great set by Elias to create that opportunity. And New Jersey pushes the lead back to 5 here. Every time that Dallas has tried to counter, Freedom has come up with an answer. So it's 19-14. And Matt Elias quickly emerging as one of the top setters in the NVA. And that is planted firmly by Operum. Not only are we playing Mother's Day weekend, we will also be back here in mid-June. We'll be playing Father's Day weekend. And we will culminate the regular season the second weekend of July. Chapman with the dig. He'll swing away, and that will fall in. And Chapman will drop back to serve, see if he's able to bring some pressure. His team now down 3. Dallas able to chip away 2 points. Take something off of that one. They will run Ian Cap, and he delivers.
Wow, Ian Cap showing that he's got some gas in that shoulder as well. And that Felix Chapman isn't the only player with some serious heat on the court right now.
By the way, Matt Buffum is back out on the court for New Jersey, number 2 in the middle. And Cap serving away too long.
Well, Freedom now only 5 points away from earning the 3-game sweep. Missed serve doesn't help the cause, but gives them an opportunity to side out for a quick point here as the Tornadoes make a serving substitution.
Javier Guerrero will return the serve. And he misses wide. So Burrell returns in the middle. Buffum, who's in for Seifert, will serve. At Buffum and I share the same birthday, 19 years apart. Buffum lays out to cover that. Cap able to push that over from the back row without a violation. And this is put away for another kill for Steven Roschitz, who's maybe not been as consistent as he was yesterday, but still a reliable right side for them to utilize. Started to match it outside too, but he's been most effective in that part of the rotation. Ferreter with the roll, that won't go. And suddenly Dallas is within 2 here. It's now 21-19. Not a cause for concern yet for New Jersey, but if Steven Roschitz able to get a quality serve here, New Jersey might actually start having some second thoughts. And that is just missed by Roschitz, and he knows it.
Yeah,
a golden opportunity.
Unfortunate serving error for the Tornadoes. It just gotten some momentum and really allows New Jersey Freedom to get off the hook that service error.
Joe Norman has been able to play this entire match despite the discomfort in his back. So he's certainly a trooper, and the Tornadoes are going to challenge whether that ball was in or out. And I think that's actually a good challenge. While I do believe it was out, it was close enough to warrant a look.
Yeah, I like this challenge as well, Ira. Bit of a free timeout, but also, you never know, could be called in.
And if it's in, it would be 21-20, and the Tornadoes would be right back in this. See the Freedom bench. Just a Beaumont team owner in the black, Carlo Edra, head coach in the blue hat. I was actually at Carlo's wedding about 12 years ago, so happy Mother's Day to his wife, Nicole. A lot of pressure on the families when, you know, the coaches and the players are traveling halfway across the country, playing these 6 events.
Well, it requires commitment from everybody and support as well. So
gone for 3 or 4 days at a time. And it appears as if the play is confirmed. The ball was out of play. It was close enough, though. I don't think that was a bad challenge, especially at this point of the match.
At this point of the match, it's a great challenge because it certainly looks as if Freedom may escape with a 3-set victory, and Tornadoes have the challenges to use. So see if they can get a little bit of momentum back on their side here and earn a side out.
See if this ices Joe Norman at all. 22-19, his team 3 away from their 3rd sweep of the season already. Norman there to cover. Elias goes to Burrell, and he plants it. We'll see a substitution here. Smith will return for Quiones. Knoll able to land the kill. Burrell slips it through. So Thomas Burrell will give New Jersey 4 match points at 24-20 in what will be yet another impressive win for Freedom if they can pull this out. And they will substitute the 7-footer Paul Bolanzik, who will be 30 years old this December, to provide the biggest shield in the world. A pancake there by a diving Roshitz. And Felix Chapman able to hit it off the high hands of Bolanzik. And Joe Norman pounds it off of Operum. And that ends the match. 25-21 here in our 3rd set. And a decisive win for New Jersey today. 25-13, 25-22, and 25-21. And New Jersey Freedom, they are ringing loudly. They are for real this year. They are 4-0. They join the Texas Tyrants as the only 2 remaining unbeaten 4-0 teams in the NVA. And it's dropped the Dallas Tornadoes to still an impressive start this year at 2-2 overall. And this will set up on May 28th when we return to action. 12 p.m., the second match of that opening day of the weekend. Team Freedom, looking at the schedule right now, and the Texas Tyrants, both 4-0.
2 undefeated squads going at it.
They are going to be our next matchup, and how appropriate. Your impressions from a Freedom squad that, sorry, I don't mean to pick on you, partner, but you did pick Dallas in our pregame show today. So that's, that puts me in first place on the year in terms of the 1-loss standings. But you have to be impressed, all seriousness, with what New Jersey brought today. Not only winning this match, but doing so decisively.
Yeah, very much so. I was expecting a little bit more pressure from the Tornadoes, but Team Freedom from New Jersey really did a great job coming out of the gates and putting pressure on Texas Tornadoes from the very start, behind the efforts of Ian Kapp, Joe Norman, and John Cunningham doing a great job in the libero position.
Yeah, and John Cunningham, I believe, will be our man of the match, just completely taking any chance of the Tornadoes of having a sorry, a director was talking to me. I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. No, but I think the biggest challenge today for New Jersey was how they were going to deal with that serve-receive and that tough serve from the Tornadoes. And Cunningham was able to kind of pace it and allow New Jersey to run their offense. So as the teams talk about things, John Cunningham will be our man of the match. He, former standout libero in New Jersey in his collegiate days, and he was missing from action when the year started. New Jersey still was able to win a pair of matches without him. Nice to get some libero love. As the Team Freedom having their post-game meeting courtside. Meanwhile, for the Dallas Tornadoes, I'll tell you about their next match soon, but first we'll go to Matt Prosser on the sideline with our man of the match, John Cunningham.
All right, well, here we are, the man of the match, MVP libero from New Jersey Freedom, John Cunningham. Congratulations, John. Give us a little synopsis of how that match went for you and your team.
I think that everything was clicking on all cylinders. In the past, we've, let teams hang around a little bit too long, and this weekend I was really proud that we were able to take care of business, 3 and out. So, especially that move against a tough team.
Yeah, the Tornadoes, very athletic, very explosive team. You guys were able to kind of manage that with your block and defense. Can you give me a little alliteration or explanation on the strategy that you have as a libero working with one of the biggest block tandems and trios in the NVA?
Yeah, they make it easy on me. It's always communication, right? Being the floor general in the back, I am always telling people where to go, different blocking schemes, take this angle, push with the left hand. And that's what really helped us, especially against a big offensive target like Felix. Making him uncomfortable was one of our biggest points of the match.
So that puts you guys at 4-0, along with the Texas Tyrants. Texas Tyrants, sorry. Also 4-0, and you guys will be playing each other in the next event. So what's your mindset going into that matchup?
Same thing. Just come out. We're going to watch a lot of film. They have a lot of firepower. So coming out and being able to shut down like Langlois, Jan, Carlo, and some of those big names, that's the key.
All right, final question. It's a special day here, Mother's Day in San Bernardino. Any final messages for the moms out there?
Happy Mother's Day. I love you, Janice. That's my mom. And go Moms.
Thanks, John. MVP of that match, John Cunningham from New Jersey Freedom.
And I think that's our most important point of the day. Go Moms. So New Jersey Freedom is 4-0 on the year. As we talked about, they will take on the Texas Tyrants on May 28th. We'll return here to San Bernardino for Freedom action. That'll be a matchup of 4-0 teams. And looking ahead at the schedule, the Tornadoes, they'll be back in action on the Sunday, May 29th. They will take on Southern Exposure. That's going to be a huge match for Southern Exposure after going 0-2 this weekend. But New Jersey, they sweep both matches this weekend. They are 4-0 on the year, and they are showing that they are for real here in 2022. Stay tuned for our next match, which is at 3 p.m. It'll be the Chicago Untouchables against the Inland Empire Matadors, and then we will conclude our final action of the weekend at 6 p.m. when the LA Blaze take on the Seattle Sasquatch. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, including my wife, Catherine. A shout out, allowing me to come out here to the West Coast and bring you some great volleyball here on NVA action, our second event of the 2022 season. A lot more action to come. Come back at 3 p.m. Eastern. Until then, everyone, for my partner Matt Prosser and our entire crew, I'm Ira Thor. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.